Got it. So, this is a FLIR thermal imaging camera. So this is the real deal. This is not a phone app you guys can go home and download. I know it's attached to a phone, but this is what firemen would use to actually go help save people. They slap it on their phone and into the fire they go. So you should be able to see me in there. So red, orange, and yellow guy. Sorry, James, but that means I'm the hottest thing inside the frame right now. So I make that joke on purpose because we're looking for those cold spots, right? So we're looking for blue and black. That's the way I have it set up. And what we're looking for out of that blue and black, there's always going to be blue and black out here because it's going to be in relation to what's in the frame. So I'm looking for the blue and black to either move or to take shape. And when I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. That's what I'm looking for. Wow, you look scared out of your mind right now.
She is.
So that's what we've caught in the past. I won't say that that's a nightly occurrence. I would say about 4 or 5 of those per year that I'll put my stamp of approval that it's definitely something paranormal. However, if we're not recording, we're not going to be able to capture it. I also have a blue dot bouncing around the screen. The blue dot is there to show you the coldest spot in the frame at that moment, because that's what we're looking for. There's also center crosshairs on there, so when Jennifer wants to find something specific and know the heat signature of that car, she can do that. However, the blue dot will bounce around, and I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops. It's about 47 to 49 degrees out here roughly, so I'm going to be looking for about 34 degrees and colder. We all know that that's pretty damn cold, like it could snow, right? But it's going to be a blue dot. So if in the event we don't have an apparition of a blue person walking by, hopefully we'll have at least a few cold spots where I can say this is definitely abnormal. So that's what we're looking for with this. So you're going to be holding these as well. So when we're in a new space, your baseline when we walked in was 2.5, even though we had a 7.5 over there. So now that you've had a 5.1, don't give me anything below that. We're going to keep it going up. That way I don't have a
So now you can hit record.
29.6, 19.4, 19.5.
All right, so I guess that's time for me to explain what EMF is and what we're actually looking for.
Entity.
For this.
Where? Answered your question. Yeah, that's what it says. Finished your sentence.
So EMF is a measure of electricity in the air. Okay, so if you were to put Christina's device behind your TV set, it's going to read about 40 to 60 milliamps. She just had a 29 in a space where there's no electricity.
17.8.
So your baseline's now
25. So just keep going. Okay.
Yep. So
51.8.
remove the phone. Separate. There you go. The phone may influence.
Okay.
So I'm not going to count that 51 just because. So 40 to 60 milligauss is the average for a TV set. If you're running your microwave heating up some food, it's going to run about 150 to 170 on the outside of the microwave. So I've already told you, I've already seen that thing go above 200. It was at this location, and that's like putting your head inside the running microwave. I actually have epilepsy, so there's too much electricity in the air for the guy with the neurological disorder. You guys appreciate that. So if things are in the triple digits for Christina for too long, I will get us out of here pretty quick. Just so you guys have an idea. I also monitor whoever's using it because that EMF is directly on them. It's not that she pointed at that building and it's from that building. It's directly on her. So again, I'll always monitor your health. Make sure
32.
I'll take a 32. Now we're on
38.
What's going on in here? So baseline's now 38.
If a doorway, like to a building, went down and it just kept going down, would you want me to, because it's a building, I can tell that it's a building?
If you could tell what the shape of it is, normally I'm looking for things to
Okay.
move. So you're always going to have blue and black in there, so just kind of have that
Well, it said -3.
-3 on the door.
Yeah, so.
How far away was the door? Which building
The
we're talking
door
about?
it's that building right there, right behind her.
It's very odd.
Abandoned?
And now there's no coldness there at all.
Wow. Okay. So I'll have to make a note to definitely
Okay.
watch that, and if I find anything odd, I'll obviously give
Okay.
you the screenshots. So this
It
parking
just
lot.
screamed. And he said abandoned. Yeah.
I heard abandoned. So yeah, this place does feel kind of abandoned, doesn't it? So for Spirit Box users, just so you know, the things that I will not write down. I will not write down the cliches of Get Out or anything like that you would normally find in a horror movie. If you tell me you hear a certain gender voice, I normally don't care what the gender is. I care about the message. So the fact that you heard child's, the same child over again, I would want to know what the child said.
Okay, it was too low. I didn't know that I was like, trying to listen to you at this, so I just turned
it's
it
not
down.
an easy thing to do because I do talk fast.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because this thing is using this thing as a translation. I'm about to tell you about a woman, so if you hear a man's voice give you certain details about this woman's life, it's probably the woman using that piece of the radio to give us that information. So that's why I don't care about the gender. So kind of keep that in mind. I also don't write down any noises like screams and things like that. So just because, again, that's all cliche and tropey stuff for TV. We're not on TV. We're trying to find real evidence. So what is this place? This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. So the mansion actually sat in the front of this space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant and came all the way across, and we are standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. So that's the layout of the lane.
In my house.
We are, well, we're not in her house. Her house would be up there, but I get your point. We do get the words house and home here quite a bit, along with the word family. So just kind of be prepared for that. That's a common thing here. So, who the heck were Eliza and Charles? By the way, communication devices, so yes, Christina, that does include you. I'm not going to be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's White Horse. This is the location where I actually start withholding information. So keep that in mind. So Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles, and they had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks. That's why we look for those secondary clues that I talked about with the Art and 40 over there by the barn. So I need to know which Chuck is coming through, so that way I know how to address them. They are 3 different men with 3 different personalities. So we'll
In
kind of
my
see
houses.
in my houses again. Nice. And you have the word abandoned. So take all that for what it's worth. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the Charleses. The only thing I will tell you about them is that the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. It's a big deal for us, but I hate politics, so we're going to move on. If I don't give them that recognition, they normally give it to me in a very nasty manner through one of your spirit boxes, like, where the hell's my recognition?
It's an easy boy. That's good recognition. I mean,
Exactly.
I would want that too.
Yeah, and I've noticed if I don't give my groups that piece of information, they get pissed about it. So we're going to move on to Eliza. She has a much better story. Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it slowly like that because if you're going to ask her how old she was when she got married, don't expect numbers from the colonial days that she came from, like 12 and 14. Think of today's standards because the husband was over double her age when they married. It was creepy age gap then, it's a creepy age gap now. So I'm just going to point that out. Anyway, she married him because her father was over in England. And it's not that I didn't hear you. If I don't find it relevant, I'm not going to stop. So he's in England. He thinks he's dying. He wants all of his kids home so he can see them one last time. Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put right here and got married. It's 1744. You don't get married in that year to get a green card because we are not a country yet. So she did marry him out of love. This is a true love story, and this is a place of respect. So you'll see that as we kind of go through this. Anyway, she was correct. Dad did not die right away, and instead he starts sending her gifts from England right to where you're standing. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye that makes blue jeans blue. Some of you are wearing it right now. I take that back. One of you is wearing it right now. So that's how we use the seeds today. But when Eliza got the seeds, she didn't know what to do with them. She actually had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it going. It's obviously not warm here all the time. Then she learned how to make the dye, moved to a cash crop, got a hold of Dad overseas, and told him rice plantation prices are going downhill. We're going to make a killing with this indigo. And now we have an international businesswoman during colonial days. Something absolutely unheard of. So, that's the boring business shit of Eliza.
Did she happen to use a tube for you? I'm just curious. That's a weird word to pop up.
Okay, wait. This is the table.
So basically, I'm going to go through all the communication devices and give you a set
65.4.
of focus questions.
22. So 65.
65. I'm going to get the word abandoned too. So,
The temperature dropped a little bit at that time. It's a couple of degrees.
again, I would look for that 15 still, even when it's chilly out here like this. Alright, so James, we're going to start with you. Focus questions. You can say things out loud. You can just focus on them. Either way is perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong way. You guys already know that. So I'm going to give you questions about Eliza's death. And I'm not going to give you the answers. That is. So hopefully she's going to give them to you. The 4 major things we get common answers from is how old she was when she died, what she died from, where she's buried, and which president was a pallbearer at her funeral.
Okay.
So those are the 4 majors. With yours, I don't know why I keep forgetting your name. It's Callie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Callie, your questions are going to be focused on the mansion. It's not hearing. So obviously, Aunt knows what used to be here after the mansion. But you're going to ask what happened to the mansion, okay? Because obviously they had to do something to be able to get rid of it. So it's some kind of tragedy. If you get the answer of what, we normally get 2 or 3 numbers of the when. That means numbers from the date of when that actually occurred. And they're very specific numbers. So I usually get really excited, and I will reveal all of these answers before we leave the space. So kind of keep that in mind. I just want you to get used to, listening to that spirit box to see if these are simple things. I know it's only 2 questions, but have fun with it.
Can you repeat the questions?
What happened to the mansion? When did that happen?
Okay.
What and when? Christina, with yours, your device is almost like a catch-all. Because again, they might be asking questions, you might get the answers. The answers also might go to the audio pieces of the camera or my voice recorder. But I am going to have you focus on Eliza's maiden name. The reason why is because she is the second wife named Eliza to Charles back to back. The first wife was also named Eliza, but had a maiden name that started with the same letter as the second. The letter L.
Very interesting.
It is. So, find out which Eliza we're dealing with. Obviously, the EMF reading is coming along nicely, so we kind of know we already have
It's
something
jumping
going on
all
here.
over just below.
So we are going to spread out within this location. Stay away from the 2 vehicles that we have here. So again, people get really weirded out. I normally do like 1 or 2 round robins with a group this size. So I'll kind of be writing down whatever you guys are finding. And again, with yours, Brinkley, just nice and slow motion. Not everything's a ghost. You're going to be just fine. So stick with somebody that you actually came with, so that way you don't get too worried.
No.
She's like, hell no, I need somebody to talk to. Have you heard anything else since we've been standing here?
I've been listening to you now, huh? So, are you gonna you want us to ask the questions out loud, and are we doing it like right here or just in the spot?
No, we're gonna spread out a little bit, so everybody kind of has a little bit of privacy. And again, I'm gonna be able to see everybody, and I kind of just bounce around with everybody to kind of see what's going on with your device. I usually, like I said, make about 2 round robins just to kind of see if we have a lot going on, especially with EMF, and you guys are hearing some really good stuff. We might stay an extra minute or 2, but I try to be brief in this location because Eliza can be a little temperamental. So again, she doesn't always like us to be here for a long period of time. So that's why I only do 2 round robins with this space. All right, guys, let's spread out. Let's do this. We got it. Turn them spirit boxes in.
Come on, dude.
So what do you think? Is this what you signed up for?
Yeah.
Nice, honest, respectful.
Yeah. I love that. As long as I'm not doing any seances, I'm fine. No voodoo. There's a lot of that. Jamaican culture. Something weird is over there. And I get the weirdest feeling.
I gotta mark down that I need to watch this video for that -3.
I think it was 13. It's telling us to focus. I can't. It did it again.
Hi, my name is James. This is my wife, Jen.
So do you go by Jen and not Jennifer?
Yeah, either one.
What year did you die?
I hope I push the record button.
Do you have a circle on there? Or a square?
A circle?
You have not been recording.
What?
No, you're good. That's a square.
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant that. And I'm like, no. Yes, no.
Yeah.
Before, I don't think I was.
Okay.
That's right.
I splice them all together so you guys have one video per camera.
I'm going to walk closer to it. I want to anyways.
Yeah.
Because, it's kind of weird that it's fluctuating so much.
Well, it's fluctuating because you're moving. So.
Well, when you were talking, I was trying not to move, and that's what kind of got my attention, because it was like a black, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't for here, this is the door, right? I can tell, that's a, hold on, that's a door, I can tell that's a door,
right.
And I try to keep it so it's it doesn't go above the buildings because I know that's the sky,
right?
But it was okay, so there's the door, but then all of a sudden there was something next to the door. It was over here. And I was
from?
what am I looking at? And it was when you were telling the story, and I was like, am I supposed to record this?
Yeah, but you see how even that movement you just had, just trying to change everything until you had him in view?
Yeah.
It's going to do that. Now take him out of view. And you'll see how everything fluctuates.
See, yeah, but it
you got people in the background now.
Yeah.
Maybe go to the
Is that them?
Yep.
That's
really them.
I'm like, no. I wasn't trying to get them into it. Okay.
But yeah, it's going to fluctuate based on the highest temperature and the lowest temperature. And
my biggest thing is because I'm so tall, I'm like, okay, wait, if I want to hold it here, and I'm like, I'm way up in the sky right now. That's not helping me.
And believe it or not, like even when we get to the next space, like I'll tell you to like do the belly shot. So like you want to hold it lower because there might be other tours nearby that get a little weirded out by us. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Okay.
I normally don't hand cameras to the tallest people, but you said you didn't want a spirit box, so I was like, oh, we'll give her a camera. And he already said he had to go to that, but like I definitely need to give you something different then.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to you.
Huh?
I've been listening to you.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything.
What was some of the other questions? There's a lot because there's so much coming through. It's like hard to dictate what's what.
Well, also keep in mind that they're asking questions too. You might get the answers. That's
from
why
what they're asking.
So I mean, if you ask anything respectable, the only thing I'll ask is don't ask about Eliza's children. She gets a little really touchy like that.
Don't ask her what?
About her kids.
Okay.
So just don't.
Just don't. Okay.
Again,
James, that means don't.
Okay.
Yeah, please don't piss her off. I come here every time.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'll ask. All right, let me pull out with that.
Are you hearing lots of stuff?
Can I ask about your kids?
James.
What's your kids' names?
You better not. This is recording.
How old were you when you died? What year did you get married? Spirit and the Lord. What does the Spirit in the Lord?
What was that?
Why am I what? Can you repeat that question? My name is Jen. My name is James. This is my wife, Jen. Can you say my name? I heard my name.
Did you really? Swear to God? Swear to God?
What was your husband's name?
I'm gonna go tell
I
him.
keep getting like the Lord and Jesus,
She said your name?
Spirit.
Get citizen.
How many people gather? got married.
Why are you way over here? Did you call me over here?
Huh?
Did you call me over here?
What?
Did you call me over here?
No.
Okay.
It's going slow. I'm picking up like every like radio station songs like word like so many words.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hard to dictate it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Am I talking to myself?
I said yeah. Yes?
It's like I'm getting every single radio station.
Were you talking to me?
Yes, I'm
I
talking
said
to you.
yes.
Do you understand like what I'm saying?
Yes. I said
It's-
yes like 3 times. Weirdo.
Okay.
All right, you two. Anything else crazy going on?
Mm-mm.
Have you heard anything?
He is. Yeah, talk to him about what he...
What have you heard so far?
February 24th. A lot of Bible, like, read the Bible, go to church, that is the truth. I've gotten Go Forward came out a couple times. I'm getting a lot from like all the different radio stations. So sometimes I'll hear just like entire sentences from the songs, but it's like 90s like Snoop Dogg or something will come through.
Okay. All right, I'm going to rein us all in because the only thing we have really going on is all of the religious terms between everybody. Because you and Callie are both hearing a lot of religious phrases.
A lot. Like it's like you need.
should I stop
Yeah,
recording?
go ahead and hit your stop
A
button.
lot of religious stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies. Baby George. You can already see where this one's going based on what I just called. Baby George. Now, George in June of 1747 was born and passed away. We don't know the exact date because his death certificate only says June of 1747 in both the birth and death columns. So I'm going to guess that he's at least 2 weeks old because back in those days you would not name a child until they were christened. It takes at least 2 weeks after birth. So that's a guesstimate. So take that for, based on my research basically. The other weird thing about George, he does not have a headstone, he does not have a grave. My theory on that is that the church that they belong to may have allowed the family to mummify him and keep him right here in the home in a tomb, waiting for mom to pass away so he could be buried with mom. Kind of a creepy and endearing thought. Times were a lot different back then, frankly. Like you're looking like, oh my God, that's horrendous. So it's going to get more weird when I tell you about Eliza's death. But there's one more child. Her name is Harriet. We don't hear from Harriet very often because she lived in Horry County because she married Daniel Horry. That is Myrtle Beach area, in case you're not familiar with our coast. That's about 2.5 hours north of here. It wouldn't have been a 2.5 hour car ride for Eliza because there's no cars. Lots of letter writing. So the fact that you wrote a letter, I'm actually excited about because I haven't heard from Harriet in over a year. So it's been that long because, again, she's probably haunting her home back up in Myrtle Beach. So again, I'm going to be looking for other clues if they come up in the spot check based on Harriet. So hopefully we get something else to verify what you heard. Eliza's death, which was, James's set of questions. Eliza was 70 years old when she passed away. I'm going to point out to the younger folks in our group that that's a long time for somebody to be alive back then.
Yeah.
So she died in 1793. I heard James actually asking what year it was. It was 1793.
I got 1935. Just weird. Because I was like, that's not that far. I mean, it is, but it's not.
A couple hundred years.
Yeah.
Can you push this button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it recording right now?
It is. So you
Yeah.
want to hit stop.
Oh.
Sorry. Ropes right after that.
Okay.
I just got murdered. But I don't know.
Ideas.
That happened a lot around here with
Well,
ropes.
that happened exactly where we're standing.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I'm going to tell that story. So,
you need to come
Callie,
over
what else
here?
do you have?
It's like I got meat a bunch,
Okay.
but other than that,
Other than that, anything else coming out of yours, James?
Huh?
Anything else that came out of yours along the way?
I got hairy twice. Trying to remember. Those are the about. I think that's everything. Something about 21.
Damn, you're on the close but no cigar. Interesting. So cameras in this location, we already talked about like keeping them low and nice belly shots. Don't have to keep anybody in view, so to speak, with yours, Jen.
Okay.
Um,
I'm not. I'm just trying to
I
like
know.
look at everything.
Right. And in the event another tour actually comes down here, because again, every tour comes down here. This is actually kind of a staple for every ghost tour. I was actually looking to take this one out this year. Instead, I decided to go like intermittently. On the weekends, it's going to be definitely added in because the new space for this year can't be done on the weekends because it's too noisy. Just so you guys know, we are on a weekend, so we won't be going to the new space tonight. I will explain a little bit about that story because it is kind of relevant to our last space with the SS. So I'll kind of give you a little quick synopsis on that, just in case something comes through.
Straight on the Nash, though. That was loud.
So in the event another tour is going to come in here, they're going to come in the same way that we did, or they're going to come out of that ivy wall because there's a little set of stairs right there where they can kind of come through, coming out of another alley over that way. So any other words that I need to know about?
Drone. Which is interesting. I'm like, I looked up to see if there was
that's not odd.
Okay.
So before I met with you guys, I always go to the Pinckney Mansion site before I meet
Should I
with you
just say
guys.
stuff that I hear?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
And if it's relevant, I'll write it down. If not, I'll keep talking. So I always go to Pinckney to kind of let Eliza know who's coming. It's just a respect factor because I've been getting very nasty messages out of there. Because I would get like disrespectful ghost hunters and they're like, "Come on, Eliza," and then they would go and take a leak in the corner. Like that's the kind of people I was getting. So I always, yeah.
That's
I'm sorry.
terrible.
That's
That's
just
why my
so
prices
rude.
are the way they are,
Disrespectful,
guys.
yeah.
And you guys are actually on the low end because this is off season for me. It's like they're going to be jacked way up. Go next month because of spring break. But anyway, back to Eliza. So I actually gave that space a break, and I was going to take it out of the tour. But a couple weeks later, I was like kind of just drawn back to it again, like I missed it. So I just kind of went and told her my piece and said I'll just swing by and tell you how many people I'm bringing and what their names are. That's how I knew all of your names before you guys even showed up. And of course, it's a good PR piece because now I can tell you guys my name, and I don't look like the ignorant tour guide saying, "All right, group, let's go." But anyway, this space I was going to take out just because it is kind of the staple for every ghost tour. But you'll see why. Every tour comes down here because this used to be called Jewelers Alley. So this is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So here's how this story goes. I'm going to give you some extra details, just the extra details because you're ghost hunting, you're not on a cheesy, campy ghost tour. You guys are going to need that for the communication devices. By the way, Christina, with your EMF, I'm looking for anything above an 8 in this location because we do have lampposts near us that will give off a little bit. So I like to make sure it's definitely paranormal before I write it down. So a doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. In the event the song Brown Eyed Girl shows up while we're here, whether you're listening to it in real time or not, it's not coincidence because it's part of his name. We get it all the time. But anyway, Dr. Ladd, he moves here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money, so he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. So he comes down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after Amanda's money. So on his way into town, the coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. Somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he knew the coachman. Now, kind of think of that coachman as like a really bad Uber driver, right? So the guy walking by and seeing what was about to happen, his name was Ralph Isaacs. I stop on Ralph because Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. On the regular spirit boxes, I was getting the letters RI all the time, so I bought a new device. It's basically an EMF meter, but it acts like a Ouija board. It gives me letters instead of numbers. So in the event that we have a spike in EMF, it gives me a letter of whether the cursor falls. I was getting the letters RI about half a dozen times since I've had it over the past year. So kind of keep that back to Ralph. He tells Dr. Ladd, "Dude, I know this guy, the coach. He's going to try to kill you. And you should come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street, and you can rent a room from these friends of mine, and you'll be safe." Doc took him up on the offer, and the two gentlemen became friends. Now, the longer the doctor stays here, because he's living here now, he's making more money. And he's proving his point that he was not after Amanda's cash flow. So Amanda gets wind of this up in Rhode Island, and she's basically sends a letter down saying that she's coming so they can get married down here in Charleston. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor because he whistled all the time. It's the 1700s, and men whistled all the time when they were in a jovial mood. So every ghost tour that comes down here tells you to listen for the whistles. It's a very big cliche. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Back to Dr. Ladd. Him and Ralph go see plays together. However, they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He gets better seats. So on the way home one night after seeing Richard III, they are arguing over the new actress they just saw because they couldn't sit next to each other during the play. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly, and they went their separate ways. Ralph has friends at the newspaper. He goes and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw the ad and rebutted with, let's go to Doors Alley. We're going to settle this and somebody's going to die. I want you guys to all keep in mind that this argument started over an actress. Pretty dumb. However, they came down, they took their 10 paces away from each other, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air and shot his one shot. He did not want to have kill his friend, he just needed the courage to show up. Hang on, I'll wait for that to pass. But Ralph has his one bullet. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc doesn't die. He falls to the ground, his friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later. On November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. Let me explain. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds back then, a lot different than what we know of them now. Secondly, he's a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but obviously he failed. Now, every tour, like I said, tells you to listen for the whistles while you're down here. We're using 2 cameras plus my voice recorder. If we're going to capture an actual whistle, it's going to show up on one of those 3 devices. Secondly, on the red spirit boxes that we're using tonight, I can't tell you how many times, dozens and dozens of times, I will get a whistling part of a song and the word doctor from a commercial immediately after. Doctor, get it all the time. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm not looking for it, it just happens. And you'll see when I do my spot checks, it is literally on minute 1, minute 5, minute 10, minute 15. I do it in increments. I listen to 1 full minute and move on to the next one that's in the increments. You guys are going to get the point. If it falls in there, it falls in there. I actually had whistling in there last night. So again, very odd. In the event you're going to try this on your own, you're going to walk all the way through the alley. I don't know how long you guys are going to be here. I can't take you all the way through this alley because I've actually been kicked out of here. I'll explain that in just a minute because that's the fun part of the story. Now, if you use your voice recorders from your phones, just keep in mind that every local knows this story. Again, every ghost tour comes down here. So if you're going to walk down here, just if they're walking down Cumberland or Queen Street, they're going to throw a whistle down the alley. We all do it. So just kind of keep that in mind. You're looking like you're like trying to whistle, like trying to think this all out. So just kind of keep that in mind. It is kind of a running joke. I do it down here every single time I pass the alley, whether it's day or night, because I've been kicked out. Here's how that went down. This alley did not always go all the way through that way, the way we came in. There was a wall up there. The reason why is because this used to be called Cow Alley. This is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So they had to keep them all contained. That means for you, why I'm telling you the stories, is the bricks down there are older than the ones we're standing on. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. I used to take my groups all the way through here for a history lesson, nothing paranormal, because I treat that brick with the handprint from a slave child in it like I do a grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid. So, November 22nd, brick, waiting for something to happen with the devices. I'm trying to shoo them along, even though I told them nothing's going to happen, because we're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. So I'm trying to be respectful, and I didn't realize that I was out of bounds for tours that time of night. So the new owner of the mansion came out screaming. My daughter, who was on the tour that night, thought it was absolutely hysterical that her dad was getting yelled at. So we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked in upper management for Walmart for a good 10 years. You guys like to fight over cows, and you've starved me for life on Thanksgiving. So I don't do Thanksgiving, even in my own business. The next day, I called my partner that I had that brought me into tourism, and I told him what happened with the neighbor. He laughed at me just like my daughter and said, "You're only allowed to go down halfway."
They just got it's a doctor and hysteria.
He said, "You're going to have to
got
reroute
what?
the group."
Hysteria and it's a doctor.
It's a doctor. So he says, reroute your group. So I'm sold out again. It's Black Friday. I told my group I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire dude. I'm not a pirate person. I just don't get into pirates. Obviously, we're discussing pirates next. However,
There's good pirate stories around here.
there is. I did not tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. Somebody on a spirit box before we left this space heard the name Anne. We are going to be diving into the famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So I was like, oh, okay. We get around the corner. I told them what little bit I did know about piracy. Somebody else heard the number 300. I didn't know what that one meant. I wrote it down. I do the research for them. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. The exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. So I was actually pissed. Let me explain. I have a master's degree in creative writing. When I'm writing even fiction, I like facts and data to be able to twist. When I'm doing this, I have to have facts and data to be able to prove the findings. pirate stories come from pirate lore, which was written over 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That means I have to do more reading to verify everything that we find. I have read more books on pirates, played more video games, watched more documentaries than I've ever wanted to on freaking pirates in my entire life. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert, but we'll just say we'll say 5 or 6 very solid pirates and captains, I can be considered an expert. Everything I'm about to tell you at the next location came from a minimum of 2 resources. It's kind of my validation to kind of come up with the story we're going to be discussing. When we get over there, I'll give you the history, and we'll be able to spread out like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion. Remember, you're going to get answers from here as well, because again, we're hoping for that bleed over. I will be writing down the hysteria and it's a doctor. Before we leave the space, I always like to point out this gate, especially for people that have been here for a long time and may not know why this gate is actually here. Remember, I told you that the alley didn't go all the way through this way. So in the event there was a loser to the duel down here, this gate behind me wasn't there exactly, just the archway. This was the shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. Otherwise, they got to pick up the dead body and carry him all the way down and then double back to get up to the cemetery. So this is a courtyard now, and then there's a cemetery for St. Philip's on the other side of the courtyard. It's a cemetery. You see where the building is?
Yeah.
That's the cemetery.
It's like, I believe there's an entrance on the other side of the street that you can come into. Yeah.
I saw.
They don't allow anybody in there anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I saw, I looked down that way, and you see, the tall bush and the tree.
Mm-hmm.
There was a really tall shadow figure.
So that's probably our doctor. I've had figures show up on that guy in here.
We didn't tell Jim.
Oh, yeah.
she's
I'm
a
a
medium as well.
Oh, okay.
We both are, so yeah.
That's
We should have kind of enlightened them.
I was like, right now, it's real. Okay, so there's something that's kind of interesting that you would say that, because I don't know, this is sound really weird. I don't know anything. I'm not from here or from Texas, and Portland. Haven't been here very long. I don't know anything about any of this, which is why I think it was interesting. But for some reason, I'm super pulled that direction. Like, I just want to walk down there, and I don't like the nighttime. I don't like anywhere. I don't know where to go, but I have like this overwhelming feeling. So when you said that, I was like, okay, that freaked me out a little bit. That was kind of odd, and I was like, what's down there? Because I can't even see past this light thing right here.
So you're talking like a little bit further
$100.
down.
Yeah.
So what I've caught, and I'm going to demonstrate. So you're going to point your camera at me. Because it's exactly what I caught.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Do you see me in your camera?
It's not focusing.
But this is what I saw.
Yeah, it's not picking you up.
So it didn't pick up a human right here, but I have a ghost right there.
Huh.
It's probably a few months back. I want to say like October,
Yeah,
November
it
is when I
was,
caught it.
when I saw it, it was you see the really big bush that's
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's that tree on the left hand side. Anybody else smell vinegar, by the way?
Yes,
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I moved, and all of a sudden.
Yes, I thought the same thing. As soon as I started walking that way, I started
Yeah.
to smell vinegar.
Is that bad?
You said it's a boy.
$100 and it's a boy.
It's a boy is interesting. I want to see what else comes up with that. I don't want to reveal anything yet. It's not relevant to this space right here, but it is something relevant to something nearby. So we're going to see if something else pops up. What were the last 2 or 3 terms you have?
So I've got feed. Okay, so before I told you romance. I had notebook and feed me. Whether or not. Habit and word.
So your romance and notebook kind of go together. Dr. Ladd actually wrote.
Any other words, honey?
Here in Charleston,
Huh?
and
Any
his
other
sister
words?
Elizabeth published it after his death, and it was all about his fiancee.
No, it's like
So romance notebook and word.
garbled.
Yeah. So again, those are things I don't reveal until
Right.
things like that pop up.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the word poetry, but you have 3 terms right there that are definitely relative to
Basically,
writing,
yeah.
giving us the small just the story.
Estimate.
All right, Dr. Ladd, we're going to be leaving you. We'll be over. You know where we'll be by the Powder Magazine, so find us over there. Let's go talk
Are we
about
going to the
pirates.
Powder Magazine?
That's where we're going.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, they used to be able
Do
to
I keep
actually
this
go
on
in
or
that
turn it off?
front.
Oh yeah, cameras. If you want to keep start it back up when we get over there.
Why did it smell like this?
I don't know what is over there, but it gives me the weirdest feeling, and it's like this weird, like I want to go over there.
I felt the same way when I was looking
And that
down there. Like I
that
wanted to
girl
walk
was like,
down there.
there's some so they're mediums.
Yeah.
And she was like, she saw something, and I'm like, I don't know what it
No, I
is,
kept looking down there. I was like, I want to walk down there.
but something.
Like, I really want to walk down there.
I didn't say anything to anybody because I didn't want to freak out, but something black on the ground, and it moved, and it was like 34, but I recorded it. So we're gonna see what he says, because then it was gone. You know?
I've got, like, nothing lately.
Well, it might just be this area. You know what I mean?
Something about the country and the maximum.
Well, make sure you tell him all that stuff.
Give me your soul.
Give me your soul.
Give me your soul.
You might want to go tell him that. It just got so cold, babe.
No, I'm freezing.
It just got so cold.
So cold right now.
What is this?
Rosebud.
Tell him that you saw what you said.
It's like one step away.
Okay. He said rosebud. It's one step away. Huh? What else did you say? Oh, give me your soul.
Yeah, give me your soul. That was weird.
He was like, Well, I thought the rosebud one was kind of interesting.
284-367.
He said, yeah, he said rosebud, and he just said a number.
284-367.
Wait, I know Rosebud. Yeah, I
What?
I
What
know
did
it,
you
but
say?
like it's not coming to me.
Huh?
What did you say?
284-367.
Rosebud. He said something else.
284-367.
You said,
It said Rosebud and it's a step away.
But you
Oh,
also have.
it's a step
hang
away.
on,
Yeah.
I'm going to slow down here for just a second. So you have December.
I have December.
So you have that whole number of 284-367. Normally when we get numbers like that, I always look at the whole thing. You guys, your spirit boxes are slowed down. So like, what color is a big red barn? You might hear Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
I don't need Rudolph the Nosed Reindeer. I just need the red, right? So I'm looking at all of those numbers either individually as pairs.
What's weird is like now, I'm not getting like as much. It's not like but when we were over there, I was getting like whole sentences like continuously. Now
the first place you went.
Now I'm just getting little pieces. Like,
is very active. Like that's why you're getting those fuller phrases over there. And over here, it is those little tiny one-word answers and chunks of numbers and stuff like that. So it's going to be less and less, and then hopefully at our end, during our Estes method, you're going to be giving me all kinds of phrases that are going to be coming out of that thing. So the rosebud piece, let me explain that. So we get the word rose. We don't need bud. But the word rose will show up all the time for Dr. Ladd because the house that he lived in, at 59 Church Street, is known as the Thomas Rose House. So, again, can't tell you how many times that the word rose actually shows up for us, but the fact that you heard rosebud, I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. So I'm actually excited about that one as well. So the romance, it's like he didn't want me to talk about the duel tonight. He wanted me to talk about his poetry and where he lived and that kind of thing. By the way, Dr. Ladd also likes to kind of poke his head into our Estes method later on because the house that I just told you about is about 0.3 miles away from where we are going to be doing that whole session. So I usually, you guys are going to hear me say, well, most of you will hear me say, if anybody else is here, you're not welcome. This is the person I'm looking to speak with because Dr. Ladd will intervene with full force. Like, hey, I'm here. Like,
Talk to me.
Yeah, that's what he does all the time. So we're actually going to go towards the back because I go towards like the cut through here. I'll give you the history. Just keep your eye on that little building over there. That's the powder laboratory. That's what we're going to be discussing.
what building?
That's random.
It did that 1.8 degrees again. I'm recording this time though.
I gotta hold your hand.
Hold your hand. Hold my hand.
Sorry.
Deborah, yeah.
He was told to hold my hand.
What do we get?
You got hold my hand.
So, yeah, I'm excited about Rosebud. It's still stuck on my brain. So this one, I'm going to breeze through as quickly as I can because there's a lot of information here, but there are a few twists because we are talking about pirates. I will slow down on the twists just so it makes sure everybody grabs them, so you can kind of see like the family tree I'm about to go through. By the way, I think I'm piecing...
Abducted. She was abducted.
I think I'm actually piecing together here December and his 28. I think that is the birthday of one of the characters I'm about to talk about. So I'm going to definitely verify that when I get back to the office because, again, I want to know for sure, and that would make complete sense. So, the powder magazine. And actually, it's a museum now, and it held gunpowder for 7 different wars. Do you notice the crosses on the building? They're not crosses. Those are earthquake bolts. If you don't know what the hell those are, they're basically turnbuckles.
Yes.
So it looks just like that on the other side, and if we have another earthquake, like what I told you about at the top of our night, you could turn the turnbuckles, and it's supposed to tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. You guys have seen them all over town in the shape of pineapples and lion heads and all kinds of Charleston charm bullshit.
Licensed medical professional.
I've got purple.
What do you got?
I got Rose again.
Rose again?
It was just Rose, though.
I'm telling you.
He's itching to be noticed,
That's another reason why I won't take it out of my
Overlooked.
route. So, he's not overlooked. I talk
We're
about
not overlooking you.
So, the reason I bring up those ones specifically
We are
is because it's
excited.
part of the reason of why we're here.
What?
Those
We are
are the
excited.
first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. So, reason why is because that is the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. We are here because that building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start her new life. So this is what I call a familiar. You guys all watch the TV shows and YouTubers.
Can you do me a favor? Can you move like maybe 3 feet that way? Just for a second. And
You guys see what she's seeing?
It's like a black mass of over there. It's like 15
It's
degrees colder than.
maybe 20. It went down more than that. It's like moving.
It's jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's recording?
Yes.
It's like black.
Perfect.
And it's getting black behind you going this way.
Yeah, because neither one of us are moving.
Do you see it?
Yeah, it's coming out behind you.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
You're fine.
And I'm getting no readings. Nothing at all.
We normally don't at this location. If we get a 2.5, I'm
Move
still
over that way
Right.
a little bit.
I would just think it would be just even point
Oh.
You are the one.
something.
Oh.
I just got like it was a song, but it was Ghost, Ghost, Ghost.
All right, let's get back into it. Keep that in frame if you can, so that
Okay.
way I can watch it later and kind of see what's going on there. So I don't want to
Okay.
discount it just yet.
Okay.
I'm actually excited to watch it, especially if something was getting smaller. That means it changed shape.
Yeah, it's
Like,
changing
went
shape.
Like behind you.
It
It's
went
weird.
really long, and now it's like I
back.
don't know what it's doing.
Yeah.
I feel not the best. Just like kind of nauseous. Yeah. I'm fine. It's not where I need to sit down, but
Look. Where she is, watch.
it's right next to me, isn't it? I can feel it.
Something.
It looks like footprints right in between you guys.
Yeah,
Like
It looks like
I can
literally
feel it, like,
footprints
between the two of you,
between
and then
the two of you.
right there. Okay, so if you look right here, you show them right here, not where the backpack is, in front of it, and then the thing that we're talking about is this right here. So when
I'm not
is
gonna
that your
move
mom?
my hands.
That's my aunt.
Oh, your aunt was standing over here, and then he moved into it. It was like coming, I don't know how to say it, but on both sides. And then when she started saying she wasn't feeling well, this right here got really big.
Yeah, it's just a little bit nauseous. Like I can feel it here. I don't know what.
I mean,
is.
I'm
I can
recording
feel
it. I have no idea what it is,
I've had baby.
but it ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not really bothering me. Like where I need to leave. I just know it's here. Like I don't know what, but I just know.
Because this is usually a roll of
It's
the dice.
really
if she's here or
close.
not. Interesting. All right, let's group in closer. I know you guys are trying to stay out of the spot, so I don't like to shout. So, you guys have
Rapper?
have you guys seen the Boo Buddy before?
Layer, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so the Boo Buddy they use to try to attract a child ghost. They put a K2 EMF meter in it, and they use that because the child would recognize the bear as a toy. We're here because of the exact same reason with the building. We don't have many buildings this old. Anne would recognize this building. Does that make sense to everybody of why we're here? So we still got something going on?
No. It's on the bag's right there. It's in front of that. 'Cause we went back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
you're
interrupt
okay.
you. But you can see the bag, right?
Yeah.
Then watch. It's the same thing with this over here. Oh, that's my finger. Sorry. And then you'll see the same thing.
Geek.
This is the thing
Yeah.
that went all the way across this way.
I've been called worse.
26 degrees sometimes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, if we definitely got a 20-degree temperature drop, I want to watch that damn video.
It's pumping over there. It's at 26 degrees.
Nice.
Okay, sorry.
So,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm actually excited that you guys are excited. Because again, when we do capture something on there, it is very exciting. So it's usually a holy shit moment. But anyway, so kind of keep that in
No,
mind. The
it's
building
so
took 10
big.
years to build. That doesn't sound like the government at all, does it? 10 years on a small building?
No, never.
The history with Anne actually begins right in the middle of its construction. This is where the twists begin. Try to follow me. Young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormack. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. The three of them, you got that, Callie? Okay. The three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How pissed was that wife that she kicked them out of the damn country? There's no planes. So it's 1708. So they landed in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach. Dad bought a plantation up there. Mom died pretty quickly. So that means Dad is now sending young Anne down here to Charlestown to sell things from the plantation to keep things afloat. So, hence the familiar building. Now, Anne back home in Ireland was said to be a badass even when she was a little girl. At the age of 7, 8, 9 years old, remember it's pirate lore, nothing is exact. They say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. Can't tell you how many times I've had servant, knife, and belly show up out of 3 different boxes and nobody else knows what the other 2 people are doing. Back to Anne. Fast forward, the building's done in
I
1713.
tried letting him go.
By 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked because she's going to fall in love with one of these guys so she can earn her freedom, just like a man. It's 1700s. It's a man's world.
Derek.
The first guy she falls in love with, James Bonny. So, we get James's name. It might be him. It might be the other James. You guys already see where this one's going, by the way, because I've already told you her pirate name. Dad didn't approve, so they ran away. They went to Jamaica. Yes, sorry. I had to get
Saturday, raid Sunday.
So they went to Jamaica, they got married, Anne Cormack became Anne Bonny. That's where her pirate name came from. When they get down there, she realizes her new husband is not the Captain Jack Sparrow
We're
that she
actually
was
getting
hoping
4.8,
for.
4.6
Oh shit.
with that gust of wind.
That's very dumb.
Yeah.
Um,
And see, that wind stopped immediately. Like, as soon as it stopped picking up anything.
so this guy's not Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. He is a privateer, which makes him a spy for the British. He's a coward. This isn't who she wants. She falls in love again. Guy number 2. There's a handful of guys, by the way. We're going to go over all of them. Guy number 2, his name is John Rackham, but everybody calls him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering. Now,
I've heard that.
Jack has his own crew. He has his own ship. But you
14.3.
can't put a female on a pirate ship for obvious reasons, and the fact that it's bad luck to pirates.
What is happening?
So 14.3 is astronomical
And
in this
I've
location.
got that nauseous feeling again.
And is it right by you?
Well, that 14.3 would be on the device.
Oh no! I meant like behind you. I guess.
I don't feel like it's close enough to detect it.
Yeah, it's
but,
not. That's not what I mean.
But 6.7.
You'll see what I'm talking about when you look at it.
Yeah.
So, where was I?
The temperature. I said that because the temperature back there dropped like a whole bunch.
Yeah, I don't
Calico
feel
Jack?
that there's someone there, but that nausea came back like quickly, like it's gone now.
Just keep an eye on it. Just let me know if it gets worse. It's going to be
Dance.
okay.
See now.
I've got
I'm on this.
later and dance.
So, girls can't be on a pirate ship. He makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like my crew, then you can be part of the crew.
Interesting.
She's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. But we're mainly adults here. Let's put 2 and 2 together. She's a female in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl. So he
Shot in
drops
the
her off
window.
in Cuba.
I
Go
have
have the
no
baby
idea.
over here and come back later. She goes and has that baby, but
5.2,
returns without a baby.
7.7.
That is crazy.
14.6. now back down to 2.8, 9.2.
It's like so hard. It moves. I don't know. I get those weird things that it'll say like 11 degrees, but it's like 2 degrees.
Yeah,
It moves so
14 is where we're
fast.
at. 18.2.
When she comes back, she goes and has the baby, but doesn't have a baby when she returns. She's also dressed like a female. It's gonna make Jack pretty angry because he obviously is releasing the fact that he let a girl on the ship. So she wants to make him even more mad. She's gonna go flirting with the pirate crew he just captured. They're down below deck. We're on guy number 3, in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the crew that Calico Jack just captured. So now we have 2 females trying to be pirates on the same ship, dressed as males. This young lady's name was Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. So her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know for sure because of the time frame and, of course, the pirate lore. But the British find out where they are and they send a whole fleet of ships after them. The rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with their flintlocks because they don't know how to use cannons yet. So obviously 2 ladies with 1-bullet guns cannot take on a whole fleet of ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, she looks at her, captain in bow, because he's not a husband, and says, "Jack, I'm sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up all the time in communication. Now, the judge wants to see the 2 quote-unquote men that fought back so valiantly on their own. He's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates that wouldn't fight. They're dead and gone. The 2 ladies go in front of the judge and reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves. The judge could give a damn that they are female. He's still going to hang them because there's no names on it.
You want to go sit down, baby?
No, I feel fine now. It was just for a weird second.
As far as the pirates.
I don't even know how to explain what I felt like. It just kind of like if you stand up too fast. It's gone.
Where they found a tunnel that ran from
Huh?
the harbor and I heard
Yeah,
that one
but I don't
when
have
was
no
in third
iron.
grade.
It was
never
just
left me,
like,
but
I don't
never
know.
went back and really
It's
did
lightheaded.
some
I mean, it's
research
gone.
myself to see.
They actually just
It's interesting because it was when he was talking about her
Yeah,
being in
I
the
knew
Jamaican
they were
jail, and
gonna
I'm
fill it in.
Jamaican, so maybe that's something to do with it.
I mean, third grade. That
He was talking about it earlier, and I
long
was like,
time
why do I
ago.
keep getting
But
lightheaded?
yeah, they had told us about that.
You know, stuff happens.
I'm curious how much, is that a tour?
It's true, but not to the level that the other tours talk.
Right, yeah, and I mean, when was that? Like, did I actually do
Dock Street
that?
Theater was on the plans hotel at the time.
What in the
Yeah,
hell?
so it was actually a courthouse. So it's kind of like a firehouse and a courthouse. Another rumor that
Well, they would have left that out for a third grade tour.
of course. But then also there's another rumor
Dylan?
from the bench.
Yeah, that's one that they. Are you gonna stay by yourself quickly, or are you gonna?
84339.
What? What? What did you say? What did you say?
Huh? 84339.
843 is our
And
area
also-
code. I throw that shit out.
Huh?
843 is our area code here.
Oh.
So I just throw that out. It's too, it comes up.
I
all
got
the time.
39 after that.
39.
And then I also got Princess. She's telling the truth. And biological features.
I just want to see what is over here that is making it so cold.
More freshness, more something.
How do you feel now that you moved out of that area?
Much better.
Okay.
It was weird. Like if you, I don't know, like you stand up, kind of like you stand up too fast, but not like that.
I get it.
She always gets like a lot of emotions, especially with people. Like she gets.
I used to when I was younger. I just like don't touch
Yeah,
me.
she used to have dreams, like crazy dreams, like
And then like
premonition type dreams.
yeah, like when I was like 13 years old, I had a dream that my best friend's house burnt down, and I told him how, and it burnt down like 2 days later. And so everybody was like in the newspaper. All kind of stuff like that happened.
I normally, like when we wrap this one up, I tell you that this was the reason why I give you that heated warning at the top of the night, and I give you the reason why. So you're gonna hear why.
Okay.
But everything you guys are like going through right now doesn't happen, you know, on a regular basis. But I would say probably 3 or 4 times a year, this location will really get to somebody.
Oh wow. I know she's not feeling very good. I didn't just it was just like a weird headache. I don't even know how to not a headache. Just like I don't know how to explain it. Like a light, like if you're drunk, right? You know, and you've been drunk and you like move your head too fast, but it's like the fun part still.
Yeah.
It was like that. And I was like, well, that's why I was like, okay.
I actually promote that we smoke in this
Leave my
location.
past
Oh, you do?
behind.
Because it's a pirate. Like,
Leave my past behind.
no, and we're going to continue digging in.
No, I haven't gotten any in or anything.
I want to see the word left behind.
He said he encourages smoking over here.
Over here?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Because they're pirates.
Oh.
Other than that one, I'm not getting...
Hands on fire? I keep getting fire. A lot. He got up early. Got up early to take care of. Is that spot still over there?
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird, actually.
It was like just like a black mass that was like moving.
Kind of like that so far. Well, kind of was like that.
Yep.
Like, maybe they're telling you you're right.
Hi, my name is James. This is my wife Jen. I'd like to have a conversation with you.
Hello.
Can you tell us the year that you died?
James.
Huh?
Something's walking behind you.
Huh?
Go back. Something's walking behind you. Keep talking. Wait, slow.
Can you tell me the color of your hair? I just got the chills. Like, chills up my back. I feel like my left side.
Yeah, it's your left side.
Like the hairs on my legs and my left arm are standing up. You know that you're dead.
That's so cool.
What else did I say?
I don't know.
Fire again. Something about
But
fire.
hold on.
He woke up
gone.
early to take care of.
I'm not gonna say anything. He's talking to something, and then it like something. I don't know how to explain it. Like a squiggle of lines
Yeah, I was
behind
walking around
him.
asking questions.
I didn't
got
say
chills
anything
all
to
up the
him,
left side of me.
but it dropped
She
a
just told me to
whole
keep
bunch.
walking.
I said, just keep walking.
So
And then he's like, I'm having chills.
what I will tell you is with that camera, a couple of years ago, there was a couple of different instances, like weeks apart, where like static would show up, like on an old TV.
Yeah.
And then whoever they were filming, their device stopped working. So something's going on with the high EMF that we have at this location right now. So far, we have the father's
This is
name.
so weird.
Like, this is probably the craziest time I've spent at this location since I started coming here 3 years ago.
The black mass that was around you guys was weird. It was
Yeah.
like definitely like 20, 30 degrees colder than anything else.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
And when I was talking to her about it, I got yep through the thing, which was like, it's weird that,
Confirmation.
yeah.
Interesting. I'm hoping that the mother's name comes through, and that'll kind of...
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You said something. Oh, there's another group.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna unrecord it. You said something, James, and now
I know you're probably hurting, but pick it up a little bit, baby.
okay, my feet are hurting.
Did you have fun?
I did. I think you're really gonna like this part. I just am really happy that you got to like hear stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, people
It
go a
was
long
really
time.
hard at first. There was so much, but like now it's definitely slowed down. Like I'm getting specific stuff. Sorry, you're feeling great.
It's okay. Yeah. Hey, what if it puts a number on something? What does that mean?
Huh?
They put a number up against something. It was like this weird... I don't know what it was.
Oh shit! I almost went down.
Don't trip. Don't trip. Sorry, baby. I'm just having a hard time walking.
Huh?
Said sorry, I'm having a hard time walking. You said they said their attitude changed. What did you say, babe? Is that what you said?
It's gonna sound crazy, but I'm like warm right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, are you too?
Yeah.
Like, I'm warm. Like, my
I just
legs,
said that. You didn't hear me say
while
that?
we were walking, like,
That's
I was
crazy
like-
too, 'cause
I
feel
was
warm.
freezing.
I just said that.
I
I go,
was
oh,
so
I
cold
finally
over
am
there.
like
I was
getting
like
warmer.
shaking, and then all of a sudden, right here, like, I'm warm.
warm.
Like, my legs are not.
Yeah, like she's all the way red.
James, come on, have a seat.
Now I know I'm
You're
not
not
crazy.
like 47 degrees like it was before around June
I don't know
50
how
and
y'all-
39.
Yeah, like, I don't know if maybe
Yeah,
it was
my hands
after
are so
wind,
frozen,
or,
though.
you know what
I
I mean?
know.
But
I was freezing over there. Like
I'm
I was like,
legit,
okay.
like my legs are warm.
So here's how this is going to go. First off, I'll point out we do have neighbors. We kind of have to keep our voices
Okay.
down a little bit, which is another reason why if you get too loud, obviously Jen's going to be tapping you.
Alright.
Backhand.
Again.
On the shoulder, right?
Yep. So I'm going to give you guys the equipment that we're going to be using, and then I'm going to take these three over to that monument and teach them the history. It takes about 5 minutes. You guys are going to sit here and become besties. The only thing I'm going to ask is you do not put the blindfold on or the headset until I come back. When I blindfold people and walk away, it never looks good to other tours. So I'm going to keep that in mind. So with this blindfold, it is disposable. I don't want to pack and keep your own eye buggers. It's your souvenir.
Sweet.
I know, right? It does fit like a Batman mask. So,
Sharing's caring.
so these little loops right here will go over your ears. Obviously, you can see where the eyes are. So yeah, you can buy those in bulk on Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. So I'm going to teach them the history, and then when we come back, I'll put my phone inside of your device wallet, and then I will explain what to expect out of this. Have you ever done this before? You guys were like pretty adamant about wanting to do this. Have you ever done this?
I have never done it, no, but I've like seen videos about
Like
it.
he watches it all the time.
But experiencing it and watching it are two
yeah.
different things.
That's why he's like, I want to experience that. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to sleep for a month.
So you guys sit here and chat for a few minutes. I'm going to teach them the history, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go over here.
Have you guys seen the one that's they're like the they're Freeman brothers, and they have that show Chasing Evil?
No.
You guys, okay, so this is what he's talking about. So these three brothers were like haunted, so they only go to families' homes, and then they try to figure out like what's going on. They work with the church, of course, and they help a lot of families, like a lot of families. And so we were like, you know, kind of pulled towards that because it was like a positive thing, right? Sure. Well, they started doing this thing where people like were missing and helping the police, and they've solved over like 45 cases in the last year and a half. And so there was like this lady, they kept saying like a blue shed, and they were sure that the brother had put it, and they were in like it was like 10 miles away, but they were in a blue shed. They were in there, and they kept telling it over and over. So that's why he's like wants to do that, because he was just like, I would love to be able to help people one day.
That's what I'm hoping to do with that murder mystery. And that was actually inspired by doing this.
Really?
I had to dive into like what some of the images meant and the phrases, and that's how I learned about it. So it was kind of like what can I do differently? Because obviously I like to twist it up a little bit. Yeah. But that voice recorder, I basically tell the murder mystery, and then I have you guys come up with 1 or 2 questions to try to get this woman to talk to us. We've caught some disembodied voices that way.
My sister and brother-in-law just drove by. I told them that they can pick us up here and take us back to the car, but I told them I was like, stay in your car and be quiet.
So this won't take too long. Again, this is a very quick history. You can't hear me. That's basically the gist. You got the point that Jen's going to tap you on the shoulder, so she'll need to stay nearby. We're going to stay nice and huddled in. Okay. She may lift up your earmuffs and just say louder. Very weird. Looks medical. I don't know. We'll see.